Red FM's FIFO Life. Big Al here with you, still joined by Mitch from Thrive Wellness Centre. How are you, mate?
Going well, mate. Going really well.
Now, today we're going to chat a little bit about PreEmployment Medicals. What do you think of the process? Do you think it's a good thing?
Mate, it's fantastic. It's definitely come a long way, but it's still got a lot to go. We have, a lot of the time, we have people come through that might pass their pre-employment medical, but Al, I don't know if you've been through a pre-employment
not for my job. No, that's pretty much like, can you speak? Yep, yeah, that's good enough.
Okay. So typically a pre-employment screening for on-site work will include some really basic movement patterns. So whether that be a squat, sometimes we do a duck walk, which I can show you after this if you'd like.
No, it's all good, mate.
And some upper body movements as well. But what we find is it's good as a screening tool, but it's not necessarily good for the task-specific occupations on site. So what we usually find with that is that people will pass these pre-employment medicals, but after 2, 3, 4 swings, they're not necessarily coping with the stresses of the on-site work. And this goes typically for your labour workers, so whether it be drillers, off-siters, a lot of the time they're dealing with repetitive tasks with high loading, so we need to make sure that they're conditioned for that. And that's not just exercise. We're also talking here about diet, making sure that their diet does complement that, their sleep patterns, because obviously, as we all know, the sleep patterns change a fair bit with on-site work. We need to make sure that we're cooling the family and talking to the kids, so sleep patterns do tend to suffer, and also hydration. Just recently we've done some assessments down within some open pit mines, and the temperatures are exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, so it does get ridiculously hot down there. So making sure that we have some sort of setup for this, because often it forces people to go to things like caffeine and supplements. We've seen a really big surge of pre-workout supplements on site and things like that. They usually just tend to lead us down the more of the rabbit hole.
Well, especially if it's 50 degrees, like you're saying. So people are starting to experience this. What should they do? Where do they go from there?
So what we usually do in this case is we set up a multidisciplinary meeting where we will take the patient through a series of meetings, whether it be with a dietitian, with a sleep specialist, with an exercise physiologist that can work on their lifestyle goals. So we make sure that the program focuses on all of their weaknesses. Then we can also liaise with the professionals on site, whether it be the chef on site. We do a lot of work with the catering teams on site, whether it be the safety team, or just their supervisor as well. So we keep in touch with everybody, so everybody's has the understanding of the condition.
That's really good. And I think what's important to understand is it's a program. It's not an overnight fix.
That's right. And I suppose it's really important to know that it is a chronic treatment program. It is something that happens over time, and it requires lifestyle changes. So there does need to be significant sacrifices leading to it. But at the end of the day, it's not worth sacrificing your health. So we need to invest the time into your health to make sure that we're getting those benefits and coping with these stresses.
Absolutely. If people want to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
The best way, mate, as per usual, contact me on mitch@thrivewellnesscentre.com.au or contact the Thrive team at 9478 3869.
Thanks for the time, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Don't go anywhere. More FIFO Life to come.